Hey, what's up, everybody? My name's Taylor Thomas. This is Kamaji Collective. Awesome. Just a second. Great start to it. Didn't mute my computer. Okay, so this is Kamaji Collective. I am Taylor Thomas. We are a bunch of artists that are going to be live streaming to this website, to Twitch, to Chew.tv, which is a DJ mixing streaming platform. And as you can kind of see here, I've got a lot of crazy gear. I've been putting kind of like a live set thing together, just kind of a small song and just layering elements. This is something that's pretty new to me just because I am usually a producer that just sits down and produces a track. But I've had a couple pieces of gear. I just finally decided to get it all together and throw it together in a live setting. So today's stream is just gonna be pretty short and basic. If you guys have any questions, just talk to me down in the chat. I'm gonna actually have that open on my phone. But let's get going here. I'm just gonna kind of go through my live setup. And maybe I'm gonna start off with the song and then I'll kind of break down what each piece does. And if you guys have any questions for me, just let me know. I'm gonna go here to the website so I can watch us. I'm gonna disable that. All right, guys. Let's get going. Okay, I'm gonna try to make this musical. We'll see how this goes. All right, that's kind of like just the clips that I've put together. And I'm gonna reset everything. As you can see, I've got kind of, it was a very basic just segment and basic clips and everything. But I kind of wanna walk through it. I'm gonna check chat here. I kind of wish this was just always on. Let's turn off low battery mode. Okay, and So let's get started with my Moog. This is my favorite piece of equipment I think I own. So the reason I got it was Wolfgang Gartner, which is one of my favorite artists of all time. He had a Moog Little Fatty. This is a Slim Fatty, so it's just a desktop form factor without the keyboard. He had a Little Fatty on his desk in one of his pictures, and I just had to get one because I loved his music back then. This is like 2012, 2013. This is when he put out like Undertaker, Firepower, and you can really tell that some of those sounds came from this synth. And let's just kind of get into how I have it routed in the setup. I can actually overlay my screen here. Okay, so I have this running through an audio interface, and then that is going through a signal chain on my computer. Come here, Echo. Okay, so this MIDI keyboard is just plugged up directly here, but I can also send the MIDI through my computer to any other instruments, but I have it just routed right now. You can kind of see on this red channel here. So this is a monophonic synth, so it's only one voice, but it also only has one output. It's not a stereo synth because there's no built-in effects. It's just two oscillators, but one mono output, which means to make it stereo, I'm running it through some stuff in my computer. So if you go here, made this chain a couple days ago called Analog Warmth, and it just has a glue compressor, just kind of flattens the signal a little bit. A saturator, just a soft sine, kind of gives it a little bit of tape vibe. This one is called Vibrato. This is by Melda Productions. It's a free VST. And I can kind of disable it just to show you. So it's really just applying the small sine wave curve to the pitch. So it's just kind of flat. I add that and just kind of gives it a little bit of analog. Let's see, what's next? It gives it like a little bit of, I just love it. Just a little bit of kind of tape warble. This is the thing that's giving it a stereo field. So this is EOS 2. It's my favorite reverb by Audio Damage. And it just really beefs it up just a tad. So 40% mix, really small decay. Size is really small too, so it's a very close reverb patch. And then lastly, we just have another saturator to kind of beef up all of those signals. Then I have it running through another saturator right next to each other. Oh, that's kind of ironic. A channel EQ, because it's kind of hot on the top end of this synth, especially when I open up the filter and I open up the resonance. If I take that away, you can kind of hear just a little bit too harsh for my liking. And then now we have these effects right here. So this one that I made a couple of days ago is called Tape Grit. All right, let's open this guy up. So Tape Grit has a dry and a wet chain, so I wanted to be able to just control the dry wet of this thing. You can hear it adds another vibrato to it. And in the wet signal chain, I have a radio filter, so this is something I've also made. It just closes up. It's just a bandpass, so it's just closing it up, only letting about 100 or 200 hertz to 8,000 hertz. And what else do we have in here? We have a couple of other things. This J37 stereo. This thing is awesome. So this is by Waves. And I'm adding flutter and wow, not even any saturation or anything, pretty much just getting that tape warble, and I love it. And then also, you know, making it mono, band passing it, and I have a dry wet control, which gives me a lot of play here. You can kind of hear whenever I go in between the dry wet, there's like this weird phasing issue. kind of beefs up the signal because it's duplicating it. There's some timing differences, so it's just getting out of phase, but I actually kind of like how that sounds when you go from a dry signal, phased, to pure kind of tape. The next one is Echo Me. This is by a guy that runs a website, forlive.me. This is just a one knob reverb macro for the reverb that's built into Ableton. So you can kind of open it up. It has a chorus on it too. Let's open on this reverb. And all it's doing is just dry wetting, and as soon as you hit the top 100% of this knob, it'll freeze it. Which is great because if I'm actually playing something, I have the exact same sound over here on my iPad output, and whenever I want to play a note, reverb's out, I can switch to another note, open it up, and it just grabs that note and then freezes it. And this can definitely be used for really ambient music, you know, if you just wanted to play a couple notes. You can have that just ring forever, which I love. That's actually the reason why I use it so much. I'll actually use it in production whenever I'm working on a crazy bass patch. I will throw it on the bass at the end of a phrase or end of a note of a bass patch. I'll just ramp it up to 100%. Whenever the next one comes in, I'll slam it back down, and it just gives this body to the synth that wasn't there before. And it gets kind of crazy with more complex harmonic instruments like this Moog right now. Because there's a lot to kind of reverb out. The Moog also has great preset control. I mean, just how fast you can cycle through things. And it just gives that really fat bass sound. It's great. I love it for just simple bass lines. I'm gonna start incorporating into production a lot more. Okay, let's get to the second thing. This is my iPad. It is Bluetooth to this Rolly Seaboard block. And the app on this is Rolly Noise. So you can actually, you have a bunch of different sounds here. The reason I don't actually just go direct from this into my computer is because the iPad has lower latency and also just a little bit less setup on Ableton's part. I have to make 16 MIDI tracks and route this through that to get like the expression control I get. So something I've always wanted to do whenever I was playing like a keyboard for my Moog or something is whenever I'm playing a note, is I wanted to like add vibrato if I move my finger, a little bit of like aftertouch with vibrato. Can't do that on a normal keyboard. With this, you can. And the feeling is really weird. It's kind of like a melted eraser. I just realized you're on my screen. Sorry, guys. And it feels weird because like the keys aren't defined enough. Like whenever I hit this, I'm not gonna move to a different key really easily. But But whenever I hit this, you can just kind of, my fiance's home. You can actually just kind of glide between notes, which is really helpful if you wanted to, like, say, make a violin sound, which is what I'm doing here. And you can kind of really ride in between notes, which is nice. It also reminds me of the Insidious soundtrack, because that's like what they would do. They would take a violin, really pitch it, now you kind of get like this siren sound. You don't actually have to own a Rolly Seaboard block to use their app. You can actually play it on the screen, which I think is awesome. Definitely go check it out, download it. And they have a bunch of great sounds out of, you know, this iPad that just get you up and going really quickly. If you don't want to program a patch through Ableton or Serum or Silent or whatever, check that app out. I'm also just running this direct USB into my MacBook, and then iPads and MacBooks can actually, you don't have to grab the audio output out of an iPad through an audio interface. You can just use a USB cable. It shows up as like a input, and it just goes direct through Ableton. What I have going on through this guy are 2 Echo Me's. I don't know why I have 2 here. Oh, I know why. Okay, so I have 2 knobs here, and one is only for the iPad. And then one is for a group of melodic instruments. So I have this piano here. This one will reverb the piano and the violin. And then the other one will just do the violin. I wanted separate controls, so I made 2 knobs for those. Other than that, we just have is that a sidechain compressor? Yes, so I just have some sidechains running whenever I hit my drums. Just kind of ducks it down just a bit. We also have this thing, Trig. So this is a Max MSP patch, and it's just sending to my glasses here, which I've custom made with the Raspberry Pi. Whenever I play anything, it lights them up purple for my violin, and whenever I play drums, just kind of syncs with it. These are hard to wear with headphones on, so I'm not wearing them now, but I just kind of wanted to throw them in the mix since I brought out everything that I own here. Let's move on to the next thing. So we got my Moog, we got my Rolly Seaboard block. These 2 things are really, really cool. These are the CMD series by Behringer. They were made in like 2013 too, and then they were discontinued. I'm not sure why, because I think they're actually great controllers. You can actually scour eBay and get these guys really, really cheap. So the advantage of them is, first of all, they're super cheap. I got this one on reverb.com for 35 bucks. This one was like 50 on eBay. And these are endless encoders. There's a script to map it to Ableton, so you actually get all of your kind of like launchpad type stuff. You got your mute buttons here, so solos will get rid of my voice. Your arm, these will sync to whatever is on your screen. So if I open up like my drum rack here, we've got a drum bus, and you can see I'm kind of messing with the drive right now. So if I play it, and then it has a little light right here that corresponds with it. Okay, so what else we got here? This guy is great. This has a built-in USB 4-port interface, and then it has power. So the power powers all of the USB, so you don't have to worry about running off your computer and not getting enough power for a launchpad or whatever. And then I have another hub that's running off this to connect everything. So where is that also going to? Let's see. This is meant for like Tractor or Serato and just mapping all these to like EQ, low, mid, high, and then maybe a filter. And they have like a little stop in the middle that you can actually feel. So they're supposed to be centered so you can, you know, go up and down. I'm using it more as an effects, as you could tell. With that, for $35, you can't beat it. Faders for drums, Moog, melodic elements, and effects. So I have all of these. And then this is just like extra clips that I want to trigger. So this is like a crazy industrial clap. If I want to like layer something on top of it. So if I wanted to. Then you can kind of go crazy. And I can stop it. It's actually great for Tractor too. I haven't mapped it to it yet, but there's like these meters right here so you can keep an eye on your overall mix. It has a endless encoder in the center with a push button and left and right so you can load to each one. All in all, you can actually also flip these over and there's like a little mounting plate and you can chain them together so it's like one controller. I didn't do that yet because I kind of want to keep them separate. And they're kind of thick too. So if you're gigging around with a backpack, they're kind of hefty. That's probably why they discontinued it. Other than that, I think they're a great deal. And there's a bunch of different modules, like one that looks like a transport with the vinyl kind of scratch thing in the center. So you can actually control a deck and Tractor or Serato. Other than that, great buy. And they're discontinued, so they're very cheap because everybody's trying to get rid of them. I'm gonna see how many I can get. Other than that, we have a Launchpad Mini. I'm borrowing this from work. This is just to launch clips, and I really only have 2 clips here, which aren't really doing anything. This is my LPD or LPK25. I actually just set this up about an hour before going live to do this kind of stuff. So I've mapped it to a vocoder. This just plays as instance of Silent with a couple of saws. And then this just goes into the vocoder, or this is with the vocoder on top of it. So unless I hit a key, it's not gonna play anything. And then a little bit of reverb from that Echo Me. What I've really liked doing is doing like clicky sounds like, and it just kind of gives it a tonal percussive element. You can also do this cool thing where if I kind of breathe out my nose while doing that. You get like that kind of breadth of tone, which I think is really cool. I think that's pretty much it, other than this, which is my audio interface. This is kind of a weird one. This is a interface that is, it's not even an interface, it's a field recorder mixer. This is a Zoom F8. I got it for 600 bucks a while back. This is meant for like film dialogue recording. I don't want to move it too much because I'm afraid something's gonna come up. Like I can kind of, so it has a little screen on here. It has 8 knobs and buttons and pre-fade listen. You can go in, it has a record button, so you can actually record 8 different separate inputs, and it has fader sections, a left-right output, a sub out, a headphone out, 2 SD card slots so you can record to that. Let me see. But that's why I love it, is because you can actually use it as an audio interface, 8 ins, 4 outs, and you can't beat that. Actually getting interference. So this is a headphone amp too. So I wanted to stay away from using a headphone amp out of this guy. Something it's not known for is having a great headphone amplifier. I actually think it's my phone that's causing that interference, which I'll move over here. So it's known for not having a good headphone amp. So I bought this $30 one on Amazon. This is a Trasam $30 headphone amp. It works great. Get really loud, and I have some Bayer Dynamic 880 Pro 250 ohms, so they're kind of hard to drive. This thing can't drive it very well. My audio interface over there on my computer can't drive it very well, so got this guy. Back to this field recorder, I use it on sets to record with a boom mic, and I have a lav right now, so this is usually like the setup is a boom mic, a lav, and we'll just record SDs, but in music sense, you get 8 inputs. You can stereo chain 2 together to get like a stereo return. So if this Moog was like a Juno or something with the stereo, you could run 2 in, route it into this guy. It's just really powerful. It also has built-in limiters, so I'm actually also running my output of Ableton through this guy, and then I have a limiter that's going to the stream, so just in case I get too crazy, nothing's gonna peak, which is really nice to have limiters on your outputs. That's pretty much it. This is my setup that I have so far, and it's nice just to kind of noodle around and not have to rely on sitting down to produce something. Other than that, I kind of want to start a new project. I'm going to keep this same setup, open up a Red Bull, and let's start a new one. All right, I'm running the new Ableton 10.1 beta. Obviously, it didn't want to start a new project, so that's always fun. Also, if you hear like that mosquito sound, it's these wireless G3 lavs. I'm getting some weird interference with them. So I apologize for that. I can actually filter that out because I'm running it through Ableton just a little bit. I mean, that's about as much as I can do for now. You can see I've got this crazy curve on here. Just kind of muffle the highs of my voice. All right, hopefully that doesn't bother me and you too much. Okay, so let's get into starting a new project. I just kind of want to make like a chill thing. Got my drums here. These are two, I wanted to make like kind of a lo-fi beat. So let's see, what do I want to do here? I'm gonna delete all these. And I'm going to get rid of all my clips. I'm going to delete this clap. I don't need this. I'm going to keep my vocoder. And then I've got some stuff over here that I could definitely use. Okay, so I'm going to make a new drum track. And I like battery. So let's grab a battery. Just really quick beat creation, this kind of stuff. I don't know if I have the space for it. I think I do have the space for it. All right. I have a Kai. This is actually the first MIDI controller I bought, and I never used it. Okay. Let's see. We get a load of kit in first, I guess. Wow, this is really loud. I think that's also just the kit. So let's go through some kits. This is actually one of my favorites. Okay, that's weird. They just put a road note there. That's actually still too hip-hoppy. So it's like a Snoop Dogg kick. Let's see. Analog. So we're gonna make a lo-fi beat. I'm gonna slow it down to 80. Oh, 870, cool. Not what I wanted. Let's keep going. There's some, definitely, yeah, okay, hold on. I have OTT, a drum bus. It was all compressing it. There we go. Nice and clean signal. That's lame. Okay, getting there. Ooh, actually. Actually really just like the snare. Huh. All right, here's what we're gonna do. So I'm gonna replace this sound. I actually have a lo-fi library here. That is great. It is the X Shoals Lo-Fi Kit. Use this one. Getting chill. I kind of like this one more, a little bit more character. So I haven't used this actually that much, but I should be able to just want a little bit more detail out of that. Okay, now we need some hats. Okay. Okay, getting there. So let's see. I need to find a good sample. Dumb sound. All right, let's see what else we got. Let's open up some keys. That's way too aggressive. I actually have something here. It might work. I just like the drone. So let's go in here. Okay, it's way too aggressive right now, so we're gonna take this. Okay, so now I just gotta kind of work with what we got here. I want some reverb on the snare because it's just so dry right now. Cool. Let's see if we got reverb. I'm sure this thing effects, and oh, we have a lo-fi right here. Not the same kind of lo-fi though. Let's see what else we got. There we go. Man, I was a little bit out of time there. Weird. I'm getting like a clipping on this. I don't know what that's from. I think it actually might be the sustain. So this is why I don't really use battery, is because first of all, don't know how to use it that well. I'm trying to shape this kick and I can't kind of get it how I want it. You hear there's like a really high. It's like a clipping. That's gonna drive me crazy. Huh. No idea what it is. Okay, who cares? Looks like it's gone no anyway. A little bit back. Okay, so we have a basic track going on right now. I'm gonna increase my buffer size. That drone is just kind of lame. I'm gonna find, watch this. I'll type in roads. Okay, first of all, the Oliver sample pack is incredible. I probably won't use this though. Unless I chopped it up. Let's see. I'll throw it into a sampler. Man, this wireless mic is awful. This transmitter pack is causing that noise. Must be not liking something that I'm sitting it next to, you know. We'll see how that works. Okay, let's go back to the sample. Let's throw it in here. And let's chop it up. I have an idea. I'm gonna throw it in here, slice. We're gonna do kind of seeing how long it takes me to figure out something. That's pretty basic. Extract groove, no. I want to slice it to a create convert drums, no. Okay, let's go here. Oliver is smart, and they actually labeled what BPM it is. So it's a little bit too much going on here. Crop clips. I could have sworn there was like a slice to new MIDI track. I might be missing. Oh, it's right there. All right, let's go in here. We'll do every eighth note because they do a lot of upbeat slicing. Okay, so now we have this guy. Okay, I kind of like how this is sounding. And kind of get a weird. Okay, I need to put a filter on this guy. Today, clicks are not liking me. Hear that? It's just because it's sliced up sample. much. Okay. I'm gonna try to record something in. Still a lot of clicks. Let's see if we can mess with that. All right, let's find something a little less crazy. Okay, now is when I have to remember my chords. So this is B flat major, I believe. Okay, I have a good feeling about Okay, I'm gonna kind of fix this sample. I really like where it's going. Kind of want to beef it up and give it a little bit more. Listen to those. So I'm only playing 2 slices. Let's see what I got here. I'm pretty sure I could throw this in a resonator. Man, I'm just getting rid of so much character out of this sample now. Okay, let's just do that. Cool. Perfect. Which one is that? This one. All right, cool. Let's do that. Got here. Wow, that's loud. just do that. I forgot I had a sidechain on this guy. Kind of like it. Okay, let's move on. What else we got? We got some piano. That is insanely loud. Wow. Something else that we got. Okay. Okay, that was the issue. So my Moog was looping through MIDI, and it was sending it back to whatever channel I was arming. Okay, trying to think else. It's a little bit too minor for me. But I guess that's how I wrote it. So let's find out what else can I add here. I mean, if we're gonna go kind of, instead of more experimental, I think that's a little bit too much. I like what we have so far, even with this Pong. Okay, so just to kind of finish this loop off, I'm gonna beef up the kick. It's a little bit too weak. All right. apparently, since I can't high cut it in anything else, I'm just gonna do it here. And something cool with Ableton 10 is you get this drum bus. I'm gonna throw this guy on here. Do this again after the drum bus, and I'm gonna do a shelf. There we go. Okay. Cool. Let's do this. And then lastly, I'm going to add a ping pong delay. They've changed the delay type in Ableton as well here. And they combined simple delay and ping pong into one. So I need less feedback because I don't want them to overlap. Still overlapping. I'm going to delete that note because that was overlapping really bad. Now I'm going to go into this guy, fold my notes. I just realized I just killed my snare by doing this. Sometimes you can't win with trying to fix a kick. So this is the only thing I would not use battery for, is why can't I change the attack, decay, sustain, release of this guy? Because that would be in here in my volume element. So maybe I can actually do it. So now I think it's this causing it. And also maybe it's just a short note. Maybe I just played it too much. So what I could do is I could select all my kicks. Cool, that's actually what I needed to do, and that's probably what was causing it in the first place. All right, just quantizing some stuff. All right, we're getting a little bit better space here. Okay, what I want to do is too low for this note. 1, 2, 3, 4, I'm gonna do, it's kind of a callback. Cool. I like what we got here. Increasing the sample size causes more delay to my headset from this lav. So I'm gonna go 256. Awesome. All right, let's see what we got. I'm gonna part out everything. So we've got drums. My melodic elements are here. Throw them at the top. And my effects. So we've actually got all these faders working. All right, let's do it. All right. I mean, you could tell I didn't know what chord I was playing in on the vocoder. But just kind of a cool thing to throw like a loop or something together really quickly with live instruments and everything. Like I could get the tone out of this Slim Fatty faster than I could just throwing a Silent, all that kind of stuff. Of course, I have instrument racks with some of my favorite sounds already inside of it. But I think the appeal of this is just really quickly prototyping stuff. You can see I didn't really know how to use battery, and I faced that issue with the MIDI clip being really short, or the note. So I was getting a clip on the end of the sample. But other than that, creating something really quickly is fun to do with this live setup. If you have like a live setup, let me know what it is, because I kind of want to know, just to see new parts and how they would work together with other instruments. Really quickly, I'm going to bring this back up because I wanted to try bringing in these violin sounds. We'll see what we got. Kind of hear how I'm hitting that wrong note because I was like using the edge of my finger to hit these guys. And whenever I've like started a note, I just want to keep following it through, so I'm just pushing it really hard. Yeah, it was cool. I think I used the Oliver sample very creatively and just like using 2 notes out of it. Other than that, I'll stop that. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is just kind of like a little live jam sesh. Just wanted to make like a new chill beat. Let me know if you guys want to hear more of this and see more of this live setup. I need to work on kind of developing a better process for switching from song to song. I know I could stem out some stuff like this and quickly like switch to it with different sections. So like these are 4 grids, so maybe just 4 stems, 4 faders, how I have drum, bass, melodic effects. I think that's a good idea. And then I could just quickly swap over to the next song and see how I can mix elements in between different things. But this is not the usual style I produce in. I usually make like trap, electro house, more banger stuff, but I've been getting into lo-fi, and I think making lo-fi live like this is a lot more rewarding than just producing it. Man, you can really hear how strained that violin sounds. There you have it. Thanks everybody so much for watching. We have a bunch of streams coming. I think Kayla's going to be performing a DJ mix on Monday, and then a set by Lawrence on Wednesday at Paperlight headquarters. So I work at a video production company. That's what the shirt is for. And we're going to be doing a pretty cool set there. And then Kayla's going to be throwing down in her apartment. She's going to be jamming out. She has so much energy, and she's so awesome to watch. So thanks everybody so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.